My beloved child, come closer and listen with your heart, not with the noise of your questions, not with the ache that keeps replaying the same memory again and again, but with the quiet place inside you where truth can finally rest. I see how confused you are. I see how your mind keeps asking, if he felt so deeply for me, if he chose me emotionally, why did he stay with her? I know how that question has followed you into the night, how it sits beside you when you wake up, how it whispers doubts about your worth. I want you to know first of all that your pain is not invisible to me. I have collected every tear you tried to hide, every breath you took when your chest felt too tight. Every prayer you couldn't even put into words. You are not imagining what you felt. The connection you sensed was real. The way he opened parts of his heart to you that he never showed to the world was real. The way he felt understood, seen, and emotionally alive in your presence was real. You were not foolish, and you were not deceived in your discernment. Emotionally, he did choose you. He chose the way your soul spoke to his without effort. He chose the peace he felt when he talked to you. He chose the truth you reflected back to him, the version of himself he felt brave enough to be when you were listening. That part is not a lie, and I will not gaslight your heart by telling you otherwise. But listen carefully now, because this is where healing begins. Emotional choice does not always equal spiritual readiness. A heart can recognize what is real and still be too afraid to step into it. A soul can know where it belongs and still cling to what feels familiar. He stayed with her not because she was deeper than you, not because she was more valuable than you, not because you were lacking anything. He stayed because fear is louder in an unhealed heart than truth is. Some people choose with their emotions, but live with their wounds. He felt you, but he lived from patterns formed long before you entered his life. Patterns of obligation, guilt, comfort, history, and fear of loss. Patterns that said, staying is safer than changing. Patterns that said, known pain is better than unknown freedom. You awakened his heart, but awakening also demands courage, and courage was the one thing he had not yet learned how to hold. You must understand this, my child, because I do not want you to turn this inward and wound yourself. His staying was not a rejection of you, it was a confession of where he is still bound. He did not choose her over you in the way your mind keeps translating it. He chose familiarity over transformation. He chose stability over surrender. He chose what required the least inner work, not what carried the most truth. I know it feels unfair. I know part of you wants justice in the form of him realizing too late what he lost. But I want something far greater for you than temporary satisfaction. I want your freedom. I want your heart to remain soft, not sharpened by bitterness. I want you to walk away whole, not constantly looking back to measure yourself against someone who was never meant to be your comparison. hear me clearly now, you were not meant to compete with her. You were never meant to fight for space in someone's life. You were never meant to be the secret emotional home while someone else held the public place. That situation was never your destiny, it was a revelation. It showed you the depth of your capacity to love. And it showed you what happens when that depth meets someone who is not yet ready to rise to it. There is a reason I allowed you to feel this connection without allowing it to fully manifest. I was protecting you from building a future on someone else's unfinished foundation. If he had chosen you outwardly while still carrying the same fears, the same avoidance, the same unresolved attachments, you would have paid the price later with deeper wounds. What feels like loss now is actually preservation. I know your heart keeps asking, then why did you let me feel so much? Because love teaches you who you are. Because that connection awakened parts of you that had been sleeping. Because now you know you are capable of deep emotional intimacy, spiritual understanding, and genuine connection. That was not wasted. That was preparation. Do not confuse delay with denial. Do not confuse his inability to choose you fully with your unworthiness of being chosen completely. The right person will not feel torn between comfort and calling when they meet you. They will not need to hide their feelings or split their life into compartments. They will not ask you to accept half presents or emotional crumbs. They will meet you openly, freely, and without fear. Right now, I am asking you to release what your heart keeps gripping. Not because it didn't matter, but because holding on is costing you peace. You keep replaying conversations, signs, moments, and promises that were never spoken but deeply felt. I see that. But I want you to step out of the almost and into the aligned. You did not lose him. He lost the chance to grow through you. And that is not something you need to carry as your burden. Your assignment is not to wait, wonder, or hope he changes. Your assignment is to heal, to rise, to become so rooted in your worth that you no longer question why someone couldn't meet you there. I am not punishing you by removing this situation. I am positioning you. I am teaching you discernment. I am showing you the difference between emotional chemistry and covenant readiness. I am training your heart to recognize not just connection, but capacity. There will come a time when this pain no longer stings, when you look back and understand why this had to stop where it did. You will see how close you came to settling for a love that felt intense but would have required you to shrink, to wait, to compromise your truth. And you will thank me for closing what you didn't have the strength to close yourself. Rest now, my child. You do not need to chase clarity anymore. You already have it. You were chosen emotionally, yes. But you are being reserved spiritually for something far greater. Trust me when I say this chapter is not the end of your love story, it is the turning point. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer. Let your heart rest here, because what I am about to tell you will begin to untangle the knots you've been carrying silently. I know that even after understanding why he stayed, there is still a deeper ache inside you. It's the ache that whispers, "But why did it have to hurt this much?" It's the ache that wonders why something that felt so pure had to end in such confusion. I want you to know that this pain is not meaningless. It is doing a sacred work inside you, even when it feels unbearable. You see, when someone chooses you emotionally but not practically, it creates a wound that confuses love with waiting. It trains the heart to believe that longing is proof of value. I allowed this to surface so I could gently remove that belief from you. You are not meant to prove your worth through patience, endurance, or silent suffering. You are meant to be met, chosen, and cherished without question. Right now, your heart is still trying to reconcile two truths at once: that the connection was real, and that the ending was real too. This is why you feel torn. Part of you wants to honor what was genuine, and part of you wants to protect yourself from ever feeling this exposed again. I am here to help you hold both without breaking. Let me tell you something important. Emotional intimacy without commitment creates an illusion of closeness that feels like love but lacks safety. You felt deeply because you are capable of depth. He stayed because he is still learning courage. Those two truths can coexist without diminishing either of you. But only one of those truths should shape your future, and that is yours. I know you wonder if he thinks about you, if he misses you, if he ever feels the weight of what he couldn't step into. I won't lie to you. Yes, there are moments when your presence crosses his mind, when he remembers how understood he felt with you, when he senses the quiet absence of something he never fully claimed. But do not let that comfort you. Do not let that keep you emotionally tethered. Awareness without action is not love, it is memory. You are not meant to live in someone's reflection of what could have been. You are meant to be someone's present reality. Right now, I am doing something gentle but firm in your life. I am weaning your heart off emotional dependency on someone who cannot show up fully. This is why the memories resurface unexpectedly. This is why you feel waves of sadness even on good days. Healing is not linear, and release does not happen all at once. Be patient with yourself. I am not rushing you, but I am guiding you forward. You may feel tempted to blame yourself, to replay moments and think, if only I had said less, loved less, waited less, been different. Hear me clearly now, loving deeply was never your mistake. Staying silent about your needs would not have saved this. Shrinking would not have made him braver. Your authenticity did not push him away, it simply revealed where he could not follow. I am proud of you for loving honestly in a world that often loves cautiously. I am proud of you for opening your heart even when the outcome was uncertain. That courage will not go unrewarded. It is shaping you into someone who will recognize real love immediately, without confusion or fear. Soon, you will notice a shift. The heaviness will lift in small, quiet ways. You will begin to feel moments of peace without guilt. You will laugh without thinking of him. You will imagine a future that doesn't include waiting or wondering. When that happens, do not feel disloyal to what you felt. Growth is not betrayal. Healing is not forgetting, it is integrating. I am also preparing someone who will not hesitate. Someone whose heart does not need convincing. Someone who will not keep you in emotional shadows while standing elsewhere in the light. This person will not be perfect, but they will be present. They will not make you question your value or your place. With them, love will feel steady, not anxious. Clear, not confusing. Mutual, not one-sided. Until then, I want you to pour the love you kept offering outward into yourself. Speak gently to your own heart. Rest when you need to. Set boundaries without apology. Choose peace even when longing tries to pull you backward. You are not losing love by letting go. You are making room for it to arrive in its rightful form. I am with you in every step of this release. I am not distant. I am not silent. I am holding you as you learn to trust again, first in me, and then in the future I am unfolding for you. My precious child, breathe with me for a moment. Let the tightness in your chest soften as you listen, because now we are stepping into the deepest layer of this healing. This is the part where your heart learns not just why it happened, but how it is changing you from the inside out. I know you are tired of being strong. I know you are tired of carrying wisdom that was born from pain. And yet, even here, I am doing something tender and powerful within you. This season is teaching you discernment without hardening you. You are learning the difference between emotional intensity and emotional availability. Before this, your heart recognized depth and mistook it for readiness. Now, you are being refined to recognize consistency, alignment, and courage as love's true language. This is not making you colder, it is making you wiser. You are also being released from the need to be chosen by someone who cannot choose themselves. That longing you felt to be the one for him was not wrong, but it was misplaced. You were trying to secure your value through his decision. I am gently uprooting that pattern. Your worth does not rise or fall based on who stays or leaves. Your worth is already established, unshaken, and whole. I know you still feel a subtle guilt, as if moving forward somehow erases what you shared. Let me remove that lie from you. What you felt was real for the time it existed. It does not need to continue in order to be honored. Some connections are meant to awaken you, not accompany you. Their purpose is fulfilled when the lesson is learned. You may notice that your heart feels quieter now, but also strangely empty at times. That emptiness is not loss, it is space. Space where anxiety once lived. Space where overthinking once ruled. Space where waiting once drained your energy. Do not rush to fill it. Let it become holy ground. Something new will grow there, but only if you allow it to remain open for a while. I want to speak directly to the part of you that still hopes he will suddenly realize everything and come back transformed. That hope is understandable, but it is not meant to guide your future. If he ever does change, it will not be because you waited, suffered, or stayed emotionally available from a distance. Real change happens in solitude, not in someone else's shadow. Release him to his own journey. His growth is not your responsibility. You are also being prepared to receive love without chaos. Right now, calm may feel unfamiliar, even boring. Your nervous system grew used to emotional highs and lows, to anticipation and disappointment. I am retraining your heart to find safety in steadiness. When the right love comes, it will not trigger anxiety, it will bring rest. That may feel strange at first, but it is what your soul has been craving all along. Do not fear that this experience has made you too guarded. You are not closing your heart, you are learning where to open it. You will love again, deeply and freely, but with discernment as your companion. You will not confuse potential with promise again. You will not settle for partial presence again. This is growth, not loss of innocence. There is a strength forming in you now that did not exist before. It is the strength to walk away without bitterness. The strength to remember without longing. The strength to bless what was and still choose what is next. This strength will serve you in every area of your life, not just love. Soon, very soon, you will feel gratitude where there was once grief. You will understand that this ending protected your future self. You will see how close you came to tying your heart to someone who could not carry it with care. And instead of regret, you will feel relief. I am proud of you for not numbing your pain, for not turning cynical, for staying open even when it hurt. That openness is sacred. And it will be met with the same depth and sincerity in time. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what is coming. One last thing for now, my child. Do not rush to be over it. Healing does not need a deadline. Walk forward gently. Choose yourself daily. Trust that I am leading you toward a love that does not confuse you, test you, or ask you to settle for less than you deserve. My beloved child, come into my rest now. Let everything you have carried loosen its grip as I speak the final truth over this chapter of your life. This is not an ending wrapped in loss. This is a completion wrapped in wisdom. What you are feeling now is not emptiness, it is alignment. Your heart is finally coming back into agreement with your spirit, and that is why things feel quiet, tender, and strangely clear all at once. You have crossed a threshold. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but something irreversible has happened inside you. You are no longer the person who waits to be chosen. You are becoming the person who recognizes choice when it arrives fully formed, unafraid, and present. This is not because you hardened yourself. It is because you healed. I want you to know that I never intended for you to stay in a love that required you to doubt yourself. I never intended for your heart to live in question marks. Love was created to reflect my nature, faithful, secure, open, and whole. What you experienced showed you what love is not meant to feel like, so you would recognize what it truly is when it stands before you. Right now, even if you are alone, you are not lonely in the way you once were. The desperation has left. The ache to be understood has softened. You are beginning to understand yourself. This is sacred ground. Do not underestimate the power of this season of stillness. I am restoring your sense of self, your intuition, your trust in your own discernment. I am giving you back to yourself. You may notice that your prayers are changing. You are no longer asking me to fix him, to change circumstances, or to bring something back. Instead, you are asking for peace, clarity, and alignment. That is how you know you are healing. That is how you know this chapter has done its work. I am also closing every emotional door that kept you half available. You will not be pulled backward the way you once were. The memories may pass through your mind, but they will no longer live in your heart. You are being freed from emotional attachment without being stripped of compassion. This is maturity. This is grace, and now, let me speak of what is coming. Not as fantasy, not as vague promise, but as truth. There is a love ahead of you that will not make you question where you stand. This love will not hide behind confusion or circumstance. It will come with clarity. It will choose you openly. It will meet your depth with depth, your honesty with honesty, your presence with presence. This future love will not feel like waiting. It will feel like arrival. You will not need to decode words or analyze silence. You will not need to guess how they feel. Their actions will speak louder than any reassurance you ever had to beg for. With them, your nervous system will finally rest. You are not being replaced. You are being repositioned. You are not missing out. You are being spared. What left your life made room for something that can actually stay. I know there is still a part of you that wonders if he will ever understand what he lost. Release that question. Understanding is not your responsibility, and closure does not require someone else's realization. Your closure is already here. It lives in the peace returning to your body, in the self-respect growing in your voice, in the quiet confidence forming in your spirit. From this moment forward, you are no longer tied to that story. You can bless it and release it without shame. You can remember without reopening wounds. You can move forward without carrying guilt. What you shared served its purpose. It awakened you. And now, you are awake. Walk gently into what comes next. Do not rush love. Do not chase connection. Let what is meant for you recognize you in your wholeness. I will not send you another lesson disguised as love. I am preparing something mutual, grounded, and real. You are safe now, you are guided now, you are chosen fully, not emotionally alone, but spiritually, openly, and completely. And when the right love finds you, you will understand why this one could not stay. Rest, my child.